Search for the biggest opposition newspapers and websites in Hong Kong, and this is what you'll find. Since the imposition of the national security law in 2020, the city's three biggest pro-democracy news outlets, Apple Daily, Stand News, and Citizen, have all been shuttered. And when they go down, they take everything with them to try to protect their employees and contributors from the government's crackdown. Overnight, years or even decades of reporting are lost forever. Or at least they would be, if not for volunteer archivists and groups like the 852 Spirit that rush to back it all up. For their safety and their families, they asked not to be identified on screen.
Programs that Hong Kong journalists dedicated their passion and effort in investigative journalism. We can only imagine how much sleep the staff had lost while preparing programs like that for the public. So preserving their work is preserving the truth, which is what we do. We cannot simply make those programs once they're gone.
These volunteers are members of the Hong Kong diaspora scattered around the globe, and they feel that protecting and passing on their hometown's collective memory is a service they're uniquely placed to make.
It's safe for us to hold these things, and they're not going to get erased or removed like, say, what's happening in the bookstores or the public libraries in Hong Kong. We can hold these things in trust. Generations of people have lost their memories and events and evidence.
The absence of evidence in China for the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre provides a cautionary tale in how governments with absolute control over the media and education can erase or rewrite historical events.
I mean, you only have to look at 89 to see how the events were suppressed there and the activists were told that it never happened. Yes, we saw this. We remember it. We've saved it. We believe your stories. We've seen your stories.
But this isn't just about helping future generations. The government and police are aggressively prosecuting activists who took part in pro-democracy protests. And in some cases, live-streamed footage has proven that police testimony is false.
Live-streamed videos have become crucial evidence in court to prove that the accused isn't guilty or present at the scene of the crime. It's hard to prove someone's innocence unless there is convincing evidence to present to the judge. Whereas news articles, interviews, or other materials, they are priceless because those are someone else's work of which they gave the best effort in documenting the city's history.
The anti-government protests of 2019 and 2020 inspired a deluge of art, writing, music, and film. But in Hong Kong itself, now under the wide-ranging national security law, little of it can be safely shared. The award-winning documentary Revolution of Our Times is now playing to sold-out audiences worldwide, but is banned in the city it documents. Another item on a growing list of examples of how authorities are seeking to limit not only what Hong Kongers are allowed to report on and talk about, but even what they are allowed to remember. But the 852 Spirit and others are pushing back. They say they're in the early stages of creating an online database where anyone can access the materials they save. As Hong Kongers increasingly lose control over how their home is run in the present and what course it takes in the future, they are determined to prove they will not have their past, their memories, taken away from them. Ryan Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.
God bless them. God bless the people of Hong Kong. Stay safe. Be free. And sing hallelujah.